We definitely had a bit of a rocky start this season. Had to make some role configurations, but once we kind of got the optimal setup, I think we really took off and we've been gelling together, building our synergy. This is the first time YUBI has made like a massive roster overhaul, so it did take us a while to get going, but I'm confident that we have all the pieces we need going into playoffs to seal this one out.
To go down, oh, but that's a great shockwave, taking down almost 2 members of Universal Basic Income. Utility Monster still fighting, 20% HP. Lifrith is gonna go down to Ultravox. YUBI now have numbers advantage. Skarloey gets Kaisa ulted. Ultravox double kill. Freedom.
I think comparing myself to Civillock, my laning is stronger and my team fighting is stronger. When all is said and done, I think we're really just the best team in the league right now as far as gameplay goes.
They're just an overall really strong team based on fundamentals. They have really good synergy together. They really grind games together. And they also just have really strong individual players in the laning phase. I'm confident that we can match them in macro, but I'm going to keep an eye out on those laning phase outcomes and see if we can keep it competitive so that we can crush them in the mid-game macro.
I think the biggest thing we have to watch out for against YUBI is honestly presenting them opportunities to capitalize on plays. In one of our games against them, we definitely made a few early mistakes and they definitely ran away with that pretty solidly. So yeah, I think if we can, shore up those plays where we get a little too aggressive or don't watch our back timers, that sort of thing. But they have done a good job in the past of taking advantage of those windows we give them.
And the kill stun and the unleashed power is there. The kill has dropped the AD carry as Civillock's gonna get poked down, not gonna land the W, but Zenzen is gonna get caught out godlike for the side of Mats, and that's gonna be game as OVS is gonna grab their first win of the season.
Best of one's definitely a big weakness for Utility Monster because usually he's really sleepy when we start playing, and if there's only a best of one, he spends most of the first game waking up. I heard that he put an extra 15 minutes into prep this time, so it took him a whole 45 minutes instead of 30 minutes.
OVS began our FOF season beating YUBI and Utility Monster, and Utility Monster's season is going to end the same way, getting taken out by us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to FOF Semifinals, where Oversoul Esports is looking to complete the 3-0 on YUBI, who is looking for themselves for a reverse sweep. I'm Raptero, joined this time by Anti, who is not going to accuse me of being in a relationship or beating him. How you doing, Anti?
Hello. I am doing quite well myself. I mean, far from being a relationship of beating me, we literally played on the same team. We didn't win that game though. So, we more have a relationship with losing. But right now, that's what Universal Basic Income seem to have a relationship with. It's 2-0 for Oversoul Esports. They've taken the Swain off the table, so now YUBI have to change their strategies here, right? The Neela pick was completely out of left field for the last game, caught them off guard. Neela Taric worked out phenomenally for Oversoul, but now YUBI fight back on the red side. What do you do in response? You take away the Ziggs, which definitely was a large problem in that last game.
Yeah, it was a big issue. We honestly didn't think it would be, but just came out swinging. Not really any MR on the side of YUBI. Really counteract it, and it just fell apart. And Swifty gets his Volibear yet again. Third time in a row.
I love the Volibear first pick. It's an RLS classic, right? Where you always pick Volibear on B1, so that way you can flex between top and jungle. But, Oversoul don't care. They're just going to give it to Swifty. Meanwhile, YUBI always going to be happy to take the Maokai. Ashe, probably the best AD carry on the patch, other than, let's say Kaisa or Ezreal, right? Gwen for Limster should be doing just fine. Going to be laning into Freelancer, so you have to be really, really careful. Seraphine, a very interesting pick here. That could be going to Freedom Potatoes, could be going over to Skarloey. I love the Kennen pick here. Make sure that you have all the magic damage that you need. You don't need to index even heavier into magic damage. Technically speaking, you could also give that over to Zenzen. for some really spicy stuff going on here. But right now, we have some pretty dang well-rounded team compositions, right? Where Seraphine is still kind of nebulous. She could go anywhere. Top jungle for both teams, pretty heavily locked in, though. And Ashe is just a power pick to always have in mind. So right now they're just gonna try to take away things from Oversoul, right? You're gonna take away the Senna, maybe take away Lux or Sona, so that way you don't have Sona Seraphine, Seraphine Lux, you know, something crazy like that. Instead, you're gonna take away another AD carry, which works out just fine. I'm pretty sure YUBI is going to be looking to fight that Seraphine in the mid lane, so maybe we might see a Nefiri angle. I don't know. Rel picked up here. Okay, so that's likely going to be Rel support. I don't think Utility Mouse is going to be giving up Maokai anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be giving up. He did so well on it last game. Just everything else kind of fell apart. It is nice though to see UB have people with damage this time.
Oh, hella damage.
Yeah, like they're slowly learning to pick up damage. Speaking of damage, the Nyla is back for OVS.
Neela being picked here, you know, is a little bit less of a surprise for the side of YUBI here. It's one of the reasons why you take the Ashe early, why you take the Rel, why you take stuff like Kennen. Because the thing about Kai'Sa versus Neela, right? Kai'Sa's damage output is so heavily based on proccing her passive procs, right? She needs to get those auto attacks off, right? So Neela getting rid of that possibility with the W makes it really, really hard for Kai'Sa to exist. Meanwhile, Ashe, Rel, Kennen, you have a lockdown out the wazoo. Auto attacks are helpful, but they don't need to happen, right? So right now you have a chance to lock down this mid lane. Syndra versus Civillock. Who are we taking here? I'm gonna get, I don't know, let's say Vel'Koz, something crazy like that. Hey, would you look at that?
Hey, Vel'Koz. Not something we get to see a lot of, but it is exciting. I'm not sure if I think it fits really well in this comp. I mean, I guess there's a lot of CC to lock down and set up for him, but
Vel'Koz is a very good Civillock pick. I think it's awful into Syndra, but it is all about player comfort, right? You're down 2 games. You're on the verge of being eliminated from your last possible, your last possible season of FOF. So Vel'Koz being picked here, super comfortable, works for the composition, even it might not necessarily be the best for the lane. So I think that this works perfectly fine on the side of YUBI, as long as they can get that death ball rolling.
Yeah, and this would be a first. YUBI being down 2-0, like losing out on this series, it would be the first official time. Granted, it did happen once, but some shenanigans happened and they managed to make it on in the playoffs. But this would be the first time and the only time in FOF history YUBI has not made it to a final or won that final, for that fact. So this could be historic. The first time in the Golden Knights era, man. Historic moment.
Oh, absolutely. But right now, we'll have to see how things work out on the Rift, right? We've got so many, of these melee or melee type, meatballs just kind of running on in on the side of Oversoul. Meanwhile, YUBI have a very, very good composition for poking out the opponents and also disengaging or womboing. Like, the YUBI comp does everything really, really well as long as you can keep the game even or ahead, right? If Oversoul get that early lead, it's so hard for them to crawl it back unless they deathball really early on. And that's something you have to commit to, right? Because the moment Ashe hits 6, right? Sure, you can start deathballing, right? But you're losing out on towers. You're losing out on farm. There's so much that's there, and you have to be careful for every single moment of it.
I agree. As we load into the game, could be our final game of the semifinals of YUBI. We'll have to see. Is OVS going to complete the sweep? Is YUBI going to start their path to the reverse sweep? Going to find out. This is feeling more like a traditional YUBI comp. Freelancer on the Kennen. Yeah.
All right. I mean, this is very interesting here. I like the 3-man stack right here. The question is YUBI adopting a classic SLR strategy where,
Swifty.
okay,
He's been found. He is going to get airborne and can get stunned up. Swifty is probably going to have to flash here. He gets ignited. They're looking for him. Oh, the flash fails, though. Is Civillock going to be able to pick up the kill? He's going in. He gets it. First blood onto the Vel'Koz.
and just like that, YUBI, with their backs against the wall, going to be starting things off in the driver's seat of this game. Vel'Koz with an extra dark seal to start things off. Definitely going to be feeling good, but, you know, you're going to be getting to lane a little bit late. You're not going to be having sums, and Zenzen also doesn't have summoner spells, so you have to be really, really careful about this laning phase, right? So because of that, you're going to be expecting Freedom of Potatoes to have the early priority. You're going to be expecting the Syndra to have the control in the laning phase itself, right? So Utility Monster is going to be in a little bit of trouble when it comes to the crab and other such things early on.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more priority for them. Utility Monster starting off solo clearing top side, I think is going to look maybe even just run up here if Limster gets a little too aggressive. Freelancer, though, doing a lot better in this matchup. You know, having the range advantage is definitely going to be beneficial. Cannon also, I think, does very well into, at least, correct me if I'm wrong, Cannon does pretty well into Gwen, correct?
Yes. So, like, the thing is, like, until Gwen hits level 6, right? Gwen into certain range champions, not necessarily a fun matchup, per se. Once you do hit 6, you can start to lock them down with your ultimate. You know, you can get right on top of them. Limster has opted for the flash, though, which means that it's going to be very hard to stay on top of Freelancer. Freelancer, on the other hand, you know, with, you know, the true cringe Nene baby composition, going to be going with the ignite, going straight for these kills. So it's probably going to be very difficult for Limster to actually ever fight the Kennen.
Yeah, though he did just get the flash out of him. Swifty did come in for a gank. So potential for maybe a repeat gank. Might be able to get a kill on that, you know, get the 1-0 up, might be able to use that to kind of bully him and lane a bit. You know, make up for the fact doesn't have ignite. Swifty is coming back, has been spotted, but Freelancer's just staying. I guess he believes.
Yeah, I mean, he's able to get the vision, get the information, play around it properly, you know, not going to be overstepping, you know, sitting on a cull. As long as you can get these minions, you're going to be doing fine. But, you know, Limster picking up a little bit of a CS lead, not what you want to be seeing if you are the Kennen.
Exactly, yeah. Kennen does a lot of damage in team fights, but Gwen can definitely take over a fight as well. If she gets on top of Ultravox, like, he's just dead. There's just no way he's going to get away from Gwen. And, you know, and so, like, allowing him to get this lead, get up. Almost,
Oh,
like,
wait, hold on.
Oh, hang on.
What happened in the bot lane?
Let's find out. I was looking at top. I didn't even see the kills go up. Let's see what happened here. As we see this, Utility Monster with a fantastic gank coming to the bottom side. Yeah, they line it up perfectly. Zenzen gets the... Ooh, it goes to Zenzen, though. Unfortunately, not who you wanted on, but 2-0 up. 1,000 gold up. Not even 5 minutes into the game. It's a good position going for YUBI right now. Looking much better as games go on.
Yeah, I mean, and one of the very important things, right, about that is you deny Matt Stat from being able to stay in lane as long as he wants, right? You know, you just have to make sure to get the early lead against the Neela, so that way she can't just start to run over you, right? Because once she gets over those late games, it's going to start to get a little bit rough. You know, meanwhile, in top lane, continual trading again and again. Hold on, this could be a kill here. Freelancer in a lot of trouble, but the Ignite going to come through, gonna get the kill, but it is the trade for Limster here, and Limster coming out on top does have the teleport, so Utility Monster is gonna have to make his way up, pick up that wave, try to hold it for his top laner, or else that Gwen's just gonna dump that full wave in, and 29 CS to the Kennen 17. Feels bad if you can get this wave in time.
I think he's going to be able to too. He had like utility monster didn't even come up to try to stop it. It is going to get shoved in. Freelancer's going to be able to get a bit of it, but still it is under the turret. It's probably going to lose quite a bit of that CS. And unfortunately, I mean, the 1-for-1 trade is good, like you said, but the teleport back just gives Limster so much more priority in this lane. And you know, once Herald comes up, yeah, I mean, that could be a target. You keep this lane shoved in, you keep the Kennen down, you can just rotate on over and pick it up. Swifty coming down. Looking for Zen. Zen's going to the bush. The horse gets away.
A hop, skip, and a jump over to safety. And just like that, Zen's going to be doing just fine. A huge amount of priority on the spot side and mid lane. There's no chance that utility monster has the ability to take this dragon unless he so desires. Swifty going to be walking away. Utility monster might be level 5, but Swifty's got the entire team to back him up. You got to be careful there, utility monster. You only have one game left to play with, and right now it's looking pretty good for the side of YUBI, but that could change at any moment, right? And if you look into the top lane right now, you can see that both of these top laners have hit level 6. That one crucial point, which I mentioned earlier, where Gwen can start to threaten the Kennen a little bit, right? Because once you have that ultimate, Kennen has to be a lot more careful, right? You can actually get locked down by the Gwen, and every single one of these trades just leads Freelancer closer and closer to potential disaster.
Yeah, and I'm gonna call out. I'm not a really big fan of the Kennen with Ignite. I get why, but I think when you take Kennen, I think it's always better to just take teleport so you can join your team, like have those big flank plays. Like it's just Kennen is so valuable in team fights and still can split. So to put him on something where he has to stay with the team later in the game just feels kind of bad. And Swifty looking for something. He has the flash. They don't have a ward. They don't know. They're not 6 yet. I think this is going to be the gank. Here comes Swifty. Matt goes in. The flash in. Gets the ult onto Ultravox. Ultravox is going to go down. Swifty picking up the kill. Oh, and they root up Zen, but no one was very ready to follow up on that. I don't think they thought that was going to go through. Another kill going over to the side of OVS, and Civillock gonna back out. A little nervous there. Sees Limster.
And just like that, once again, is the power of Anila. You know, you can lock her down as much as you want, but unless you're able to create a significant lead, it's so hard to hold on to that, especially with her passive, right? You know, that solo experience going to be coming in handy. Matsat hitting level 6 before Ultravox even had a chance to get there. You know, Freelancer going to continue to push in this top side. Herald seems to be the only real play for YUBI, but I doubt Utility Monster's going to be going for it right at this moment. Oh, if you look in the mid lane, though, Freedom Potatoes getting locked up here, and with the analysis coming in, Civillock proclaims Freedom Potatoes roasted and delicious.
Yeah, he's learned the recipe for delicious Freedom Potatoes. We call those French fries in America.
Actually, that funny thing. So where Freedom Potatoes came in, I'm not sure about Freedom Potatoes, but Freedom Fries. So there was a time where France did not agree to a worldwide nuclear testing like treaty, right? And America, as a response, renamed all the food in the Pentagon and the White House to away from French things. Like they were called Freedom Fries.
Oh, France.
Oh, France.
Oh, Limster finding Freelancer. Utility Monster is here. The Kennen ult comes in. It's a big ultimate. Limster going to go down. Swifty is going to have to live up to his name and get out of there. And, ooh, arrow goes wide. Doesn't hit anybody. Freedom Potato still looking to get some picks, looking to get some stacks for himself. Feel like OVS may have not wanted to challenge that one.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, you send Zen over to the mid lane. Oh my god, Civillock.
Oh my.
And the potatoes bite back. Civillock going down right now as Freem Potatoes found a beautiful scatter of the week, and the Vel'Koz gets incredibly scattered. But right now, you know, it's a tale of how strong these bot lanes are going to get, right? Because Matsat has been left to free farm, right? You can send Zenzen over to the top side to help out. You know, Utility Monster taking a lot of damage should not be in any real danger though. But if you send Zenzen over to that top side, right, you have to keep Ultravox in the bot lane, or else Matstat and Skarloey just take so many plates. And the Ashe can help from cross map away, but right now, what you need is some help right in this bot lane. Matstat and Skarloey committing both ultimates, going straight in, but the heal expanded from Ultravox will allow them to walk right on out. Meanwhile, Swifty has an ultimate of his own available for this tower. You have to be so careful on the side of YUBI here.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Oh, here comes the ult. YUBI going in, looking for Matsat. They instead get the stun on to Skarloey, who managed to get out. Utility Monster all alone, though, is gonna get torn up and taken down. Zenzen gonna get ripped up. Freedom Potatoes gets the kill onto him. And just like, I think it was actually last game,
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's just like what we've seen time and time again. OVS have phenomenal laning, no? Like, and their teamwork is just so insane. Oh my god, Civillock in a lot of trouble here, just barely able to ghost away from that one.
Yeah, just barely getting out there. This game is getting kind of aggressive. It's more fast-paced than previous games, which is good. The last couple games have been a little slow, little like kind of slow-paced as a whole. Especially last game, very paced.
Yeah, I mean, but when you get over to those later stages of the game, that's when you have champions like the Syndra, like the Neela, like the Seraphine, like the Gwen even. Actually, literally every champion on Oversoul, minus the Volibear, who's still just going to be a meat shield in the late game, scale ridiculously well. So you have to be so careful on the side of YUBI to not accelerate any of them. You know, Freelancer is just going to try to pick up as much damage and gold as possible. You know, a few more waves and you're going to be able to get that coal fully stacked. But once again, the teleport coming on in means that YUBI can't push this lead.
Freedom Potatoes getting caught out. Civillock analyzing him now and getting analyzed himself. Swifty goes on a killing spree on the bear.
Oh, man.
Oh, speaking of that, Limster looking for some ults on the top side. Doesn't really find much with it, but it's just aggressive. I like the aggression in this game. It's a kill a minute right now, or actually a little under, but that's just like, it's much faster paced than I like. I like fast paced games.
Yeah, meanwhile, Freelancer right now has a in, honestly. Like, if you can get rid of the Gwen W, I think Freelancer actually has a kill window here. Hold on. Freelancer looking right now for the wave. You know, just finished the coal, looking for an opportunity to back. It is going to be a mythic versus mythic components, so you're not really going to be looking to do anything too drastic just yet. But this top lane is getting scarier and scarier for Limster. But Utility Monster, on the other hand, in a horror movie of his own.
Yeah, he's in a horror movie. He has to flash out. Swifty gets the stun. Skarloey does too. Freelancer in a little low right there. But so is Limster. Neither of them can really join up in this fight for the dragon. Freedom Potatoes roaming back up to mid, trying to pressure that. It's 4v3. Zenzen gets picked up. Civillock is here. Utility Monster's ult's coming through. Matsat does use the cleanse, and is gonna go down though. Utility Monster manages to pick up the kill. Civillock on the backline with the laser blows up Skarloey, and the bear falls too. Freedom Potatoes looking to maybe pick up Civillock here. Civillock is Civa out as Freedom Potatoes goes down. Utility Monster picks up the kill, and YUBI gets the dragon. They get the ace on the top side. Freelancer with the solo. Limster. Big plays from YUBI. This is what we like to see.
Yeah, and just like that, you can see just how it broke down. Freelancer on that top side, as I was saying earlier, right? You know, has a window for a kill, waits for level 11. You know, once Limster walks up a little bit too far, uses up the veil. And just like that, Freelancer knows that he can go straight on in, pop that slicing maelstrom and slice straight through Limster's remaining health bar. Gwen is a very difficult champion to play in the top lane when it comes to understanding your item breakpoints, right? Most champions, once they finish their mythic item, right, their first item, if you finish a mythic item before your opponent, usually you'd think to yourself, wow, I'm really strong here. I win the laning phase now. You do not win the laning phase on Gwen when you finish Riftmaker. You win the laning phase on Gwen when you finish the Nashor's Tooth. Riftmaker allows you to exist. Nashor's Tooth allows you to win. So Freelancer, on the other hand, playing a champion that spikes so much earlier, able to get to level 11 earlier, level 12 now. You know, the level discrepancy, despite not having teleport, is actually insane. But able to utilize that advantage with incredible efficiency, knowing exactly how strong both he and his opponent are at that point in the game.
Yeah. And now it's 6,000 gold lead for YUBI. This is the biggest lead they've had all series so far. Monstrous, especially in the bottom lane, 1,500 up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one thing that I kind of want to note here. So, YUBI has never lost a playoff series with Freelancer as their top laner.
This is true. This is true. So Freelancer is going to carry them over the line. He was the secret ingredient that YUBI needed all along.
Maybe. But right now, YUBI trying to find a secret ingredient of the Rift Herald, which is not so secret right now. Everyone with eyes on it.
Yeah, it's going to go over to OVS. They're going to start getting a couple objectives, you know, try to find something somewhere. I think the best option right now is honestly to shove the funnel the resources into Freedom Potato. So he's actually got something going, and maybe just try to play through him, get some picks on Ultravox or Civillock in a fight, and then just go in a 5v4 from there. But he's getting caught out right now, gets hit by Utility Monster, the knock up the blast, and Civillock takes the kill, uses the ult for half a second, and down goes them potatoes. YUBI continuing to make big plays in this third game, this elimination game for them. They will not go quietly into the night. They are trying to at least grab one, try to start the potential reverse sweep, get to the silver scrapes.
But yeah, right now, right? You know, the biggest thing that you have to be worried about as YUBI is how in the world our OVS can be looking for a way back in, right? Because we have all seen it time and time again. OVS are phenomenal at making these comebacks, at racking up the kills, at making that miracle team fight happen, right? So how do you deny that? How do you make sure that doesn't happen on the side of YUBI? And a large part of it seems to be locking down Matstat. That last fight that went so well as it did was because Ultravox and Zenzen both just locked down Matstat until that entire Neela's health bar was gone. So, honestly, my question to you, Raptor, right, is what do you think that OVS has to do in order to bring themselves back into this game and into a final?
I think they need to look for picks. I know that's kind of weird considering they don't have a lot of CC, but like use Freedom Potatoes, get one of those orbs, blow up Ultravox or Civillock in a fight, or at least keep them out of the fight, and then you go from there, because you're not going to win the fight with with both of them online with Freelancer there. Even when he's not there, the Civillock shown with Utility Monster just how powerful a combo they are. You've got to eliminate them. I think Civillock especially would be the priority target. It's just got so much going on right now. Ooh, see the stun right there. But you know, I think they need to break the odds, because I don't think YUBI is strong enough to win a 4v5. But Utility Monster goes in onto Freedom Potatoes. Freedom Potatoes
Oh my God.
explodes. And Bear is running Utility Monster trying to get him. He has to flash. He has to ult. The arrow goes wide. And Swifty gets out. But Freedom Potatoes... We were saying they need to look for the mid lane on YUBI, but YUBI just finds the mid lane on OVS.
Yeah, I mean, Freedom Potatoes looking kind of free right now as Civillock is just going to pick up yet another kill, yet another turret, yet another chance towards victory for the side of YUBI. And, you know, chat might be calling me out about Freelancer not actually losing a series. Well, how about Freelancer has never lost a series on YUBI when not playing Wukong. Anyway.
That's true. He's not on Wukong duty this season.
Anyway, YUBI, on the other hand, looks to be not relieved of winning duty as they're trying to find a way how to claw their way back into the series, right? You know, I said earlier, in the champ selects, YUBI's draft look amazing as long as they can stay even or ahead. They've absolutely done one of those things, right?
Yeah.
The question is, do we see the YUBI throw? Do we see the the Dragon 7 game in game number 3 for no reason? It might happen. It might not. I'm hoping that YUBI have a way how to seal this out because East Coast is getting very, very EP.
Yeah, it's getting late in there. I could say as someone in Central Time, it's already 10:30. The East Coast players got to be. If this goes all the way to 5, I feel for them. I feel for them immensely. It's almost like that's gonna be like, it's almost midnight. Like we're almost to midnight for them. And going on. Ooh, Swifty gets hit by the arrow. Limster looking for something here. They're onto Swifty. He's trying to get away. Doesn't have the ultimate quite yet. Does manage to get out. The teleport coming through. Charmin onto Utility Monster from the Seraphine. Matsat looking for it. Freedom Fries is here, but isn't able to contribute quite yet. Matsat going in, looking for something. Freelancer takes out Swifty, but Ultravox goes down on the side. Freedom Potatoes looking for something. Limster trying to dodge out, really kiting Zenzen and Civillock. Utility Monster looking for something, but Freelancer picks up Matsat. Probably going to get Skarloey right here, and now it's 3v2 in the jungle. Freedom Potatoes looking for something, hoping to maybe pick up Zenzen. Might be able to, but Freelancer is here. Freedom Fries, more like Freedom Hash Browns, as he goes down, gets shredded by Freelancer. And
yeah, and just roasted by the Ignite right at the end too, right? But, you know, let's break this one down, right? Freelancer in this fight just absolutely demolishing that backline. You know, just the stragglers in the middle of these fights, right? Just all get picked up by Freelancer. As right now you can see him walking around looking for Swifty, you know, looking to keep the bear out of the fight. And instead you see him right in the middle of the thick of things, flashing onto Skarloey, trying to make sure that the people who are out of the fight cannot rejoin. Matsat, on the other hand, you know, was just trying to go about his day, trying to survive, trying to, you know, enjoy life for a little bit, and that gets cut short by the cannon. Freedom Potatoes also looking to regroup with the team, gets roasted by the Ignite, and just like that, YUBI are looking to add a purple worm to their repertoire.
And they're moving on their way up there right now. They're all kind of low, though. They don't really have a lot of DPS. This isn't AD Cannon, obviously. This is AP Cannon. So it might take them a little bit. They need Ultravox to get there, but that gives time for OVS to get here. They are teleporting in. Here comes the Gwen. She's probably going to pick up the blue buff. Gets it. Kind of is hunting. Does see Civillock.
Gwen is immune.
Yeah, I think they might even start it up because YUBI has to back up. They're still pretty low. We haven't seen Civillock back yet. Put himself in a dangerous position, but I don't think they're going to start it up right now. I think they're just going to kind of jockey for vision. As YUBI jumps out to a 7,000 gold lead 22 minutes into this game. And OVS just holding on right now. This, you know, I actually think a lot of it is coming through the bottom lane. I feel like there's been a lot of plays made through them. Especially in combination with Utility Monster. And I think a part of it is just the lack of Taric here. You know, OVS had the opportunity to draft Taric. I saw he wasn't banned at all. There was a moment where they could have drafted him at the very end, and instead they go with this Seraphine. And I'm not sure if I think it works very well with the Nyla into Ashrel, as opposed to, like, say, the Taric.
I feel, right? So like the thing about Taric, right, is that Taric is very, very good in niche scenarios, right? Against a team like this, maybe not quite. Hold on, Matt Stat, gonna get stunned up, but the immediate cleanse, you know, gonna walk away from that one. That was almost so scary for Matt Stat. I am certain that Matt Stat got jump scared at least a little bit. But meanwhile, you know, returning to that, right? You know, Skarloey on the Seraphine. Oh my
Freedom
God, hold
Potatoes.
on.
Yeah, Freelancer looking for something right there, but fails it. Swifty going in there, gonna probably pick up Freelancer. He's looking for Freedom Potatoes. He's looking to dish out some, but he's not gonna. It's gonna be a shutdown. Swifty picks up the kill, and they get a nice influx of gold into the team.
Yeah, a nice influx of gold, but that's going straight to the Volibear, which the only thing Volibear is going to be able to do right now is frontline. And yes, frontline is going to be nice, but you need to kill these carries, right? Like Civilox Vel'Koz, like Ultravox's Ashe. No matter how much gold you pump into that Volibear, he is not going to be fast enough to ever catch up to an Ashe.
This is true. This is true. It might be looking more to catch up onto Civiloc, you know, some nice, delicious calamari for the bear. Bears are fishers. They do like to fish.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I do also love myself some salmon. I totally understand the feeling there. But, you know, right now, YUBI, what they need to understand is that the game is in their hands. They need to find a way how to seal things out, how to avoid their infamous game, their infamous, you know, 7 dragon games, right? And right now, it's an opportunity for Swifty to steal. We've seen this before, where Swifty managed to steal the Baron away from YUBI and absolutely turned the tides of the last game. Are we going to see the same mistake for YUBI again, and are OVS going to be miracle makers?
Ooh, the arrow goes wide. Zenzen then going in on to Limster. Limster just gets nuked. And the dragon is going to go over to the side of YUBI in a very basically uncontested fight. The rest of OVS backs off. Now they're going up towards, I can't tell if they're going to push or might go for Baron. Freelancer's got to be careful, though. He doesn't know where everyone is. I think they're going to make the rotation. That's the call to go to Baron. Without Limster here, this is the perfect opportunity for them.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, right now, YUBI have the inside track on the Baron, have the control of these choke points, right? Swifty coming in from the bot side, going to be getting zoned out by Freelancer on full vision, utility monster, and Ultravox on Baron duty, right? They're just going to continue to get every single little bit done. And just like that, OVS pick up a tower in return here. But the Baron going down to YUBI is a great sign for YUBI fans, and a horrible sign for the side of the East Coasters in chat. I'm sorry, my friends. Salutes to you.
Salutes indeed. YUBI on their way to taking this game. 8,000 gold up right now. I think they might try to end it on this Baron, but they might just wait and take that Infernal. You know, Infernal Soul, especially on Kennen. Oh, that sounds like death. That just sounds like excruciating pain. So they may just wait it out. Limster manages to get another turret, and I mean, OVS also got one in the mid lane, so they are holding on. They've managed to lower the goal lead to only 6,000, but with Baron up, they're going to be on the back foot this whole time. And I don't know about you, Anti. I don't know if I see a way for them to get back into this at this point. I don't even think the picks are going to work. They're just so strong on the side of YUBI.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, sometimes, right, you know, your only chance is to start deathballing, right? And sometimes the deathball rolls back on you. But in the end, one must imagine Sisyphus happy. You know, you have to continue doing the task again and again, no matter how difficult it seems, because the only chance you have at victory is a death ball at this point. And Skarloey and Matsat have been the focal point for a lot of that, and it needs to be Swifty, right? You know, it needs to be Freedom Potatoes with a ridiculous scatter of the week or something crazy like that, right? You know, maybe you get, you know, a 6-ball ultimate on a frontliner and then just stun the entire team. Who knows? But right now, it's just a continual lead, and OVS are getting choked out over and over and over again. Meanwhile, YUBI have managed to spread the gold around, managed to give every single one of their team members enough support to just take down all of these towers and do so much work.
Yeah, they're just shredding through them. Freelancer just holding, like, easily holding Limster at this point. I don't think the Gwen is going to be able to really do anything. So behind. Meanwhile, mid turret is about to fall this last wave. Ultravox going to escort it in. And I think this is going to be it. Freedom Potatoes coming from the side, though. Maybe looking for a pick. It's going to be hard. Ultravox is really the only target for it because Civilux got the Banshees coming fast and low. As they break open the base, they're in. They're looking for this inhibitor. Bottom side is also getting pushed in. That turret is gone. The inhibitor might be gone with it in just a moment. Utility Monster just buying space, walking around, knows no one's going to be able to kill him here. Gonna pick up one. That's one inhibitor down. Utility Monster goes in, looking for something. Arrow comes through. Swifty goes
Freelancer.
in. Gets deleted. Freelancer with a huge ultimate. They take out the Bear. They take out the Seraphine. They take out Limpster, it looks like. Ultravox gonna pick up that kill. Another inhibitor does go down. I don't think they're gonna matter, though. They're just gonna go for the end game right here. Freedom Potatoes gonna have to really dig deep right here. But Mattstat trying to find something, looking for the ult. Big ult, doesn't matter, goes down. Freedom Potatoes all alone against 5. Very low, but still very strong targets. Maybe looks for Zen here. Freedom Potatoes gets locked up, though, is going to go down. And we do have a series on our hands as YUBI takes game number 3.
Yeah, and just like that, you know, there are some phenomenal plays for the side of OVS right at the end there, right? You know, where we had the big ultimate coming in from Mattstat, the huge scatter weak from Freedom Potatoes, but it was too little, too late when you're the only two standing in front of the Nexus. Freelancer with a beautiful slicing maelstrom to take out so many members of Oversoul. Civillock just absolutely deleting people on the signature Vel'Koz pick. And just like that, YUBI are back in the game. Game number 4 could be an absolute banger. So don't go anywhere because I'm so excited to see how this one develops.
Yeah. And shout out to our sponsor, Logitech G, for, you know, giving YUBI the back end to this game. Yeah. Also shout out to Academy of Art, University, and Adobe Creative Cloud. All of our sponsors for all of the wonderful sponsoring they do.
Yep. You know, we cannot run this show without all of y'all. So thanks so much for making it a possibility. And right now we're going to have to see possibility of YUBI making the reverse sweep dream come true. It's not an anime comeback if you're not down to begin with. So don't go anywhere. This series is looking to be spicy.
Liganda reisa, mi canta lo,